Yeah, they told me I wouldn't be nothing.
Top of the top. Another episode of Mental Madness. This your host KG. I just want to first and foremost apologize. I took a week off unannounced. I want to apologize to my subscribers and all of you that view and tune in on a week-to-week basis. Was dealing with some personal issues. Had to get my own affairs in order. Some stress and just making sure I had my own affairs in order. This week's episode is going to touch on a topic that a lot of people may have heard a lot of cliche sayings about as far as outgrowing people. You know, again, I appreciate all of you who subscribe and all of you that come and view every week. And for those of you who have not subscribed, I encourage that you subscribe. The content here, I'm pretty sure you will appreciate it. I'm speaking to my brothers about understanding the mental health that we deal with, the deficiencies, the emotional instabilities, because we wasn't taught how to deal with our emotions on so many levels. So I pray that you all continue to join in, subscribe, send them emails. Let me know what's on your mind, topics that you may want me to discuss, so on and so forth. I want to definitely be a voice for the brothers, because a lot of us don't have a voice. A lot of us suffer in silence. And it's time to break that stigma of us not having a voice or us being too emotional. I don't think there is anything wrong with a man expressing his emotions. I ain't saying that you should be walking around crying every other moment, because that's actually something I'm gonna touch on in this video as well. The level of sensitivity that people deal with. We all say we grown, and we say that in the context of saying like, I'm grown, like I could deal with anything. But the moment that someone says something that you don't agree with, you want to take it offensive. I mean, adults know how to handle criticism, I would believe, especially constructive criticism. We always want to throw the whole, nobody should judge nobody. But if somebody's giving you constructive criticism, the first thing people do is, oh, you do this, you do that. Nobody that walks this earth is perfect. Not a pastor, not a deacon, whatever you want to consider them. Not the E-man. Nobody's perfect. So everyone that's advising you or criticizing you has flaws and deficiencies. That's just the reality of it. You may have put them on a pedestal and may have accepted these criticisms from this particular person because you idolize them to some degree. But in reality, they're not perfect either. But let's stick to the script. Again, smash that subscribe button. For all of you that tune in, I appreciate you all, and I apologize for going MIA unannounced. I would definitely make sure that doesn't happen again, because that's not how I want to conduct myself on this platform or in life, period. Understanding that we outgrow each other, separation is just, for me, what I'm learning is just as recent as yesterday, I felt guilty because I had a conversation with an individual. I'm not going to go into details of the conversation or drop names, but I realized in that conversation, he felt insecure because I expressed to him a certain lifestyle is not for me. The lifestyle that I've created for myself, I want to maintain it, and the way that you want to live your life is fine if that works for you. And he took offense to that. Why? I understand why, but then again, I don't understand why. Why are you offended by something that I'm telling you isn't for me? I'm happy that you're living the life that you want to live, even though it's not really the life you want to live, because you're making it seem like it was already pre-written and that you don't have a choice but to live with the circumstances that you now face. That's nonsense. In that moment, in that conversation, I knew right there that our level of thinking, the way we thought, our outlooks on life were very different. And there's nothing wrong with that. But my motto at this stage of my life is, you want to use people, not misuse people. You want to use people and treat them with respect, dignity, and show them love. If we can't use and build with each other, we're useless to each other. So I'm really evaluating people in my life in circumstances like that. If it's not something that I can grow from or I can help someone grow in, it's useless for the both of us. I'm just understanding that I've grown a lot of people. And I'm pretty sure you all have as well. And I want to tell you that don't let your subconscious make you feel guilty, because it made me feel guilty yesterday. It made me feel very guilty about the fact that we're just not the same anymore. We don't think alike. We don't really have much in common. Yeah, we grew up in the same projects, hustle and got money together. You're my elder at that. And you're still thinking along the lines of poverty, for lack of better terms. They're still accepting the bare minimum in life. And I have no problem because everybody is at different stages in their life. But I have the right, just like you have the right to choose who you want and who you don't want in your life. It's not that you look down on people. The reality of it is this. You're in a space where you're trying to elevate. And you may have poured into these people that are not trying to elevate, and it's making you stagnant because you're so busy trying to pour, and they're not retaining any of the fluids that you're pouring into them. They're disposing of it because they don't want to hear that shit. You know, they're not ready to embrace the level of the level of where you are mentally. So you gotta, evaluate and weed those people out and put other people in your life that's on the level that you're on or beyond the level that you're at so that you can excel. Don't stunt your growth because you feel obligated to stay loyal to a person because y'all went to preschool together. I mean, it doesn't make you disloyal when you separate yourself for the betterment of yourself. Because at the end of the day, this isn't your Siamese twin. What do you owe a person? I'm not befriending, I'm not disowning you. I'm just taking a break. I'm falling back. My engagement with you is going to be a little different because I know that as much time as I may have communicated or conversed with you before, I can't do that because the things that we're communicating and conversing about, that I'm communicating and conversing about, it's not conducive to what you're trying to do in life, and your feedback is not helping me grow, and my input and pouring is not helping you grow. So you're useless at this point. A lot of people don't like my terminology, my choice of words, and this goes back to what I said initially. We grown individuals. You grown, right? You're a grown man. You're a grown woman. So grown-ups can disagree. Grown-ups can use graphic language without it being profanity, and it shouldn't be taken as offense. I'm not disrespecting nobody. I'm not belittling nobody. Everybody's perception of people is different from person to person. You may perceive me as a loving individual. Somebody else may perceive me as arrogant because I'm a bit confident in the things that I say. But that's neither here nor there. I just want you all to understand that you don't have to feel bad about outgrowing somebody, and your loyalty isn't to that relationship. Your loyalty is to yourself and to God and yourself first. You owe it to yourself to stop putting yourself in these broken situations that you can't pour into and they can't pour back into you. It's aimless. It's a waste of time. And a lot of people, a lot of the people in the African American culture, from my observations that I've met, I'm not saying all. Again, a lot of people in the African American culture that I've met, myself at times included, we waste a lot of time chatting about a lot of bullshit. Excuse my French. Stuff that's not gonna help us grow as people. Stuff that's not gonna help our children grow, help our relatives grow. We just converse about a bunch of BS. I'm gonna tell you a quick story, and I'm gonna get back to the topic. My cousin called me and was telling me that a friend called him, and the friend just randomly started shooting off about outer space, saying that I don't think nobody ever been to outer space, bro. I think they lying to us. And my cousin, like myself, he said respectfully, bro, why do you even care about that? I mean, not to be funny, neither you or I can even afford a corner panel on a rocket ship to shoot us out of space to even go in and expect if it's true or false if there's an outer space. Why do you even care to have thoughts about those sorts of things? And I understood where he was coming from because we waste a lot of time in our minds about a bunch of nothing. Why aren't we thinking about what can we do to be better men or better brothers or children or fathers? Why can't we have those discussions? Why we got to talk about Will Smith slapping Chris Rock? Why we got to talk about Jada and her entanglement? Those are all things that don't really concern us. And you want to say that represents our culture. That represents you if you choose to let it. It don't represent me. I'm praying for the brother's mental health, but I need to pray for my own mental health first. You understand what I'm saying? I don't got time to be trying to figure out somebody else's life and what they're going through and their trials and calamities, but I need to figure out my own damn life. A lot of us waste a lot of time. A lot of us are afraid to venture out into different things. I'm going to use myself for example. I come up in the projects, Hyatt Court to be exact, John W. Hyatt Court, Newark, New Jersey, born and raised, right? But I've been exposed to different things, As I mentioned to y'all before, my father and I didn't have the greatest relationship, but I appreciate the times that I did spend with him. He took me places. I was exposed to different cultures, different things, different states, different countries, to where as though I understood that life was bigger than just the projects that I lived in. And I know a lot of my peers have not been fortunate enough to have those experiences, so I get it. And I always encourage people, if you can't physically go to these places, read a book, open your mind, experience different things, hop on YouTube, learn something. It will open your mind and understand the exposure. When you're exposed to certain things, your mind is going to expand to further places. Because a lot of people where I come from, we take risks. We gangbang, we hustle illegally, sell drugs, because hustling is not just limited to selling drugs. We sell drugs, We have sold drugs, but when it comes to taking a risk to invest some money, we're hesitant, we're fearful. And I just don't understand it. My logic is, damn, we risked our lives literally and we risked our freedom literally. And we didn't question that. We didn't have any butterflies or second guesses about that. But as a people that come from the environment that I come from, that I've met, those that I have met that are apprehensive about going down different avenues, I understand this an avenue of uncertainty you don't know. So is standing on the corner selling narcotics is an avenue of uncertainty. You don't know what the outcome will be. You're telling yourself the objective is to make money, but you can tell yourself the same thing when you're going to invest or look into different avenues of making money legitimately. So it's all about the mindset. And I just want to encourage my brothers and our sisters as well that have grown and reached a certain level in life that they have realized that their former peers are not at the same level. You're not on the same playing field. They're playing a different game than you are. It's like you're playing solitaire and they're over there playing Jenga. You're not playing the same game. So what can you possibly have to converse about on an intense, intricate level with this individual? I'm not saying that you can't say hi and bye and shoot this with them here and there, but I would say that looking at that as a relationship that can be conducive to your growth, you have outgrown that person, and that person is not where you are. So you're pouring into a cup it's a bottomless cup. There's nothing on the bottom. So it's going in and coming right out at the bottom. They're not retaining anything that you're sharing, and they're not pouring anything into your cup. So the dynamic of that relationship is useless. And I just want you all to know that it's okay. It's okay to get to that point in your life where you now realize that you may have been friends with this person from preschool, but y'all just not on the same playing field. Y'all don't have the same aspirations in life. Y'all don't have the same desires in life. Again, I'm not saying that you can't be there for that friend from time to time, but don't overly invest yourself in that relationship anymore because it's not beneficial to either party. And there's nothing wrong with that. That's all I wanted to come before you all and share. And I'm going to stay prayed up and keep you all in prayer, especially my brothers that's out there dealing with these stigmas that we deal with. They have our standards way up here and everybody else's is way down here. I pray for you all that you can sort through those things mentally and not fall into the realm of depression, anxiety, stress. Even the ladies that may have come up in situations where their expectations are extremely high and not realistic. And you're not allowed to be human. You're not allowed to fail or need help. I pray, and again, you can always email mentalmadnessnwk@gmail.com. Follow us on our platforms. On Instagram, Mental Madness NWK. On Twitter, Mental Madness 11. And on TikTok, Mental Madness NWK. I appreciate you all for giving me a few moments of your time just to hear what I have to say and giving you different perspectives of how men think and what we may deal with in today's topic of discussion. It applies to both male and female because we all outgrow one another at certain levels and stages in our lives. And it's okay. It's okay to, be mindful of how much time you pour into a relationship that's really not conducive. It's not even wrong if you just cut the relationship off altogether. I'm just not going to tell you to be cold-hearted like that, but if you want to flatline that relationship altogether, it doesn't make you wrong because it's not conducive to either party. Again, if you haven't subscribed, make sure you tap in every Thursday, 12 p.m. This your host, KG. Another episode of Mental Madness. I appreciate y'all time. Blessings.
They told me I wouldn't be nothing but a statistic. Dead in prison, look how I'm living. Never been perfect, but I'm forgiven, alive in the sun.